Hi guys, welcome back to the show and this week's movie review.
Guns, girls, global domination. Xander Cage is back.
XXx, The Return of Xander Cage. Now, the announcement of this movie was a little bit surprising to me because Vin Diesel's coming off of Fast and the Furious. He's coming off of Guardians, or actually going into Guardians and going into Fast and the Furious. So to see him return back to an older franchise that not too many people really remember was really strange to me, especially since the last time he did it by returning back to Riddick, it really didn't go over so well financially or critically, and I thought he was just kind of done with that stuff. So to see him jump back into XXx, my excitement level was here. As a matter of fact, it was really low. I wasn't really planning to go and see this film, but lo and behold, not much else was really playing at the theater. So I went out to go see this film. And I'll talk to you guys what I really thought about this film when we actually get into the review. But I went and saw it and really waiting to tell you guys about it. So like always, let's start with who's in this film and the cast. So the cast of this movie, as always, except for the second one, is Vin Diesel as Xander Cage. He makes a return back to this film, which is, like I said, it's his franchise. Why wouldn't he come back? But we also get Samuel Jackson returning back, which was a little bit of a stretch. I didn't think he would come back, but it's Samuel Jackson and he's in everything. So there's no way that he was going to turn this down, and it was actually kind of cool to see them both on screen again. A little older, well, a lot older, but to see them back on screen together, kind of cool, I guess. Now, one of the great things about this film is that it's always been just them two. This time, they've expanded out the cast. We've got a lot more people, and some of them villains, and some of them, you know, friends, I guess you would say it that way. But some of the people that are new to the film are going to be Donnie Yen, Tony Jaa's in this film, Tony Collette, Tony Gonzalez. There's a lot of Tonys in this film. I just really caught on to that right now. Whoever did the casting, I don't know if they were doing that as a joke, but there's a lot of Tonys in this film. There's a lot of people in this movie. There's so many people that have small roles that somehow kind of tie into the plot. I'm trying not to spoil it too much because this is a non-spoiler review, but the cast is ballooned up. So much so, you kind of feel it's Fast and the Furious is like, because, there's a lot of people going on to it. It's an ensemble cast. So that was one of the things that's new for this particular film and this franchise. So I can go into more detail about it because I feel myself trying to get and slip in to tell you guys about what the movie was about. Let's talk about the plot. So if you've never seen a XXx film or any of the movies in the franchise or even heard of the franchise, the basic premise is you have like an extreme sports guy slash athlete, I guess that's what we're calling him, who is a quasi brought into CIA and now is a quasi James Bond. That's the overall plot of all three of the films. In this particular one, since we now have already established that character, we're bringing him back. That he was in retirement or in hiding. He's now back into the field and he's got a team with him, or a family, if you want to go Fast and Furious wise. He's got these people to kind of help him take down this other team, a la Fast and the Furious 6. Or 5, or whichever one of Fast and Furious. So it's a lot of Fast and Furious references in it. I will say that. But that's basically the overall plot of it. We got Xander Cage back. He's got a team, and he has to take on this other team to solve the day, or save the day, or solve the problem, or however you want to call it in this particular film. Before I tell you guys the goods and the bads, like I always tell you in these movie reviews, I want to define something real quick. Popcorn movie. Now, a popcorn movie is really a movie with little dramatic weight that's simply there for pure enjoyment and entertainment. I have to say that because if you go into this film with any other thought, you are totally going to be lost and you're totally going to be upset, because that's not what this film is about. It's all about fun, action, and, just shoving your mouth full of popcorn. So think about that, and that's how I thought about this when I did my goods and the bads. So let's start with the goods. The goods of this film is that the action is awesome. When it's happening on screen, it keeps you into it. It keeps you on the edge of your seat. It's basically Fast and the Furious minus the cars. There's so many Fast and Furious references I'm going to make. It's basically Fast and Furious without the cars. The action's really cool from Tony Jaa and Donnie Yen. And what's funny too, because I thought it was like two martial artists in the film. They normally don't do that unless they're opposing each other. And this particular film, they kind of mix up their styles differently. So, you know, one was a crazy one was a more focus driven one. And then it worked well on screen for me. I really, really enjoyed it. Everybody did their parts. Everybody had action. All the players and on Vin Diesel's team and the rival team all did something, all had their unique talents. Michael Bisping's in this movie. I forgot to mention him. He's in this movie too. Like I said, Tony Gonzalez is in this movie. The movie is like a cast of characters from everything that you remember from UFC and football. They threw them all in here, and it's a big mashup, and martial arts fans in a big mashup, and it was like here is everything a little boy dreamed about in an action film. So, but the action was really, really great in this film. Another thing is that if you're a big fan of Samuel Jackson and his many roles, you'll be aware that he was Nick Fury in the Marvel series, and they make a lot of Marvel Avengers references, a lot of them for Nick Fury and a lot of them for Avengers. So I thought it was a little funny that those kept coming up, and it kept you paying attention if you were really picking up on them. So that was other things that I liked about it. Like I said, it's a popcorn film. I'm not going to give you stuff that's going to be like, oh my God, that's something that would really move me. No. Action is what this movie is about. Action is what you got. So that's what I liked about it. Those were the goods. That's where I'm going to stop with the goods. Let's talk about the bads. Now, I preface this with a popcorn film. The dialogue's not that great. I mean, there's some corny lines that are in it, but stuff you expect from a you know, a big budget cheesy action film. So you kind of let it go. The plot is paper thin. I mean, it really only serves it to get us to action scenes, because if you really sat and thought about it, because I did, like why this stuff was happening and what was the true purpose of any of the stuff, it was really, really weak. So don't do that. Don't do that, because that's where this movie actually does not do well. So just let that stuff go. Just take it all in and just keep going. Those are the bads of this film. Oh, wait, no, wait. I will take it. I made a lot of references to Fast and the Furious. One of the bads is that this film, basically, like I said, is Fast and the Furious with no cars. So I think that's a bad, because if he wanted to do another he's already done another Fast and the Furious movie. It's like he had an idea for another Fast and the Furious movie, but he couldn't call it Fast and the Furious, and said, well, we'll just call it XXX. And that's what happened in this movie. So I think that was a waste, because all anybody's going to really be looking at when they see the trailers, or even if they see the movie, it's like, God, that felt like a Fast and the Furious movie. Still enjoyable, but it doesn't stand on its own anymore, because all I do is related to Fast and the Furious. Like I said, all he needed to do is say in the movie was like, and you're my family. And then we'd had 7.5 Fast and the Furious, or there's Fast and the Furious 8, but this is 7.5 Fast and the Furious. So that's where I got on the bads. Should you go see it? If you are into action films, definitely go out and see this movie. Like I said, they rehash a lot of people that you hadn't seen before in action films, or even people that you were fans of as athletes in this movie. It's really cool. I like that aspect of it. Like I said, to see XXX, if you're a fan of that franchise, then definitely get out there and go and see it. So if you want a movie where you're going to be like, oh my God, that moved me, oh, my heart, go see Hidden Figures. Don't see this movie. Don't see this movie. Take your kids to it. I think it was pretty good. It was PG-13, so we all had a blast going to see it. I don't want to build it up too much. I mean, because it's not a perfect movie. It's not a great film. It's a really good action film, and I'll give it that. That's what I'll say about it. So, as always, make sure you guys subscribe, so that way you know about more of our videos. We do quite a few different videos on the channel, outside of my movie reviews. Also, too, make sure you comment and like. Let me know what you guys felt about this film. Am I giving it too much credit for being a popcorn film? That's kind of what I do, maybe. Tell me what you guys felt, and down below in the comments. See you guys next week. Take it easy.